Welcome to the Bothell Buzz, where you hear about timely topics. You probably know that the City of Bothell takes care of your streets and sidewalks and provides fire and police services. But did you know that the City of Bothell has its own animal control officer? Let's find out more about that in our next segment.
So as the animal control officer for the City of Bothell, I provide many services. I monitor our pet licensing, I respond to 911 calls into dispatch with animal-related incidents. I patrol our parks in the city looking for animals that are in need of assistance, as well as answering questions that citizens may have. Also fielding phone calls into the animal control services line. Many of them are wildlife calls, so I'll be able to direct them into the correct resources for that. Having an animal control officer in the City of Bothell allows our police officers to focus on calls that are related to not animal instances so that they can focus their resources on the citizens. Having an animal control officer in our city allows our animals to get that care and that direct contact from me. It's a quick response time into the police department when there's an animal incident because I'm within city limits. I can get there quickly, provide good customer service, and as well as knowing all of the resources and the area. So there's no typical day for an animal control officer. There are days where there's paperwork, so pet licensing, directing phone calls, responding to voicemails, being out in the field and responding to instances where an animal attacks a person or another animal. We have an animal running at large that needs to find its way home or be impounded. As well as helping our police officers respond to calls where an animal might be involved. So we recently had two different calls where citizens of Bothell were involved in collisions and their dogs were with them. In both cases, I was able to bring the animal back to the Bothell Police Department, give them lots of treats and love and cuddles while their owner was able to seek medical attention and not have to worry about where their animal was or if they were in the right care. So I appreciate being able to help those people and help those animals not have to be worried or concerned or feel scared or threatened. So the City of Bothell requires all dogs and cats to be licensed with a City of Bothell pet license. That is different than a county pet license. A City of Bothell pet license has to be obtained at the City Hall across from the police department in downtown Bothell, or they can get them online at petdata.com. An animal that is unlicensed is illegal, and the fine could be up to $250. So when we have a situation where I have an animal involved and they have a pet license, I'm able to get that animal back to their home quickly and safely. The Bothell pet license has a specific number on the tag the owner's provided, and when the animal's wearing that tag, I can access further information about that animal, where they live, the phone number, and get them in contact with their owner. It could be their free ride home. So recently I noticed a trend where I was seeing more instances where dogs were attacking other dogs and they were showing up at apartment complexes in the City of Bothell. And as I noticed that trend and in my investigation, I spoke with the property manager of one of our local apartment complexes and sat down with her, and we went over their lease agreement and what is involved with the animals in the lease, as well as attending one of their staff meetings with 8 of their staff members, where I was able to do a Q&A session with the staff. And they recently changed their lease agreement to state that all dogs and cats moving into their apartment complex must obtain a pet license through the City of Bothell within 30 days, which is what our law is. So as far as the pet licensing, I started a pet licensing campaign where I've used the local high school students to go hang door hangers on residence doors in the City of Bothell, letting them know about what the laws are and how to license your pet. We've had 2 campaigns already with Inglemoor High School students as well as the University of Washington, and I have some more set up for the future. We'll be going out and educating the citizens on what the laws are. So pets that are found that don't have a pet license and we can't locate the owner and bring them back to their home are impounded up at every animal shelter. And I'd much rather have that animal go back to their home and be safe and happy and have it be a quick response time into getting them back to their owner. Unfortunately, when I can't locate the owner and we have an animal where we don't know where they live, we have to take them somewhere safe. And so they're taken to Everett Animal Shelter, which is a wonderful facility. They vaccinate them and protect them from any diseases that they may come in contact up there. The animals ride in the truck all the way up to Everett. And I just imagine that it can't always be a comfortable situation for every animal. So our animal complaints through animal control at the police department vary. We do get a lot of barking complaints, in which I encourage the people calling in and complaining to talk to their neighbors first and foremost. If they have or they're not comfortable, I'm absolutely willing to go out and have that conversation or call them. But most of the time it can be worked out between the neighbors and have no hard feelings. In the event where I do respond to the barking complaints, I educate the dog owner first if we haven't been there before, and have a conversation with them, letting them know what the laws are as far as nuisance and noise ordinances, and figure out why that dog is barking and what we can do to fix that situation and make them happy if they're barking because they're unhappy. I also get a lot of calls and complaints as far as dogs being off leash. We don't have a place where dogs are allowed to be off leash on public property, including our parks. And so we do get a lot of calls of people who are scared, or their animal has been attacked before, or they have some type of history with an animal attacking them. And even though your dog's nice and it listens to you, it's still illegal to have your dog off leash in a park. So my suggestion to people who have dogs is care for them, treat them like you'd want to be treated. They're animals. They can't tell you what they need or what they like or what they want. I mean, sometimes you can read their body language, but treat them fairly, treat them nicely, follow the laws, license your pet, and give them the care that you would want yourself.
Animals are popping up everywhere in Bothell, even at City Hall. Let's take a look at our newest public art in this next segment.
We commissioned Northwest artist Georgia Gerber to install 4 pieces of her sculptured work. We have standing otter, we have sitting beaver, we have the mom beaver with her pup, and we also have City Kitty, which was a specially commissioned piece. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind piece of the cat that used to live underneath the old City Hall that city staff as well as the community at large helped take care of. So Georgia Gerber is a really well-known artist in the Pacific Northwest. She's also well-known throughout the country. But in the Northwest, you can see her work at Pike Place Market. The Rachel the Pig is her work. There's also a gorilla at Woodland Park Zoo. And there's a gardener sculpture piece in Woodinville. Back in April of 2017, the City Council created the Arts and Festivals Commission. It's a commission that meets monthly and discusses projects, ideas, programs, and public art for the future of art in this city. Well, you can find public art in Bothell down on Main Street. There's quite a few murals that are adorning the different walls of businesses. You can find public art over at UW Bothell and Cascadia College. In fact, if you really want to know more about the artwork there, you can go to explorebothell.com and you can check out our What to Do tab and scroll down till you get to a day in the life of a UW Bothell student, and then you can click on their art walk and check out the art there. We also have a sculpture in one of our parks, and there's some functional sculpture of bicycle racks where an artist has incorporated their design into the rack. The Arts and Festivals Commission selects art using our public art policy that was just adopted by Council. And that public art policy is kind of our guiding template for how we go about creating public art, incorporating public art into the city. We find a location such as a park or some other city-owned piece of land or facility, and we do a call to artists. Artists apply. They submit some design drawings of what their project could be in that location. And we have a jury that reviews the proposals, and then they select their favorite piece, which is then forwarded to the Arts and Festivals Commission, and they vote on their favorite piece and recommend that for final adoption by City Council. What's next for the Arts and Festivals Commission is that we just got done doing a call to artists for two-dimensional, three-dimensional, and media art inside the gallery space at City Hall. So earlier I'd mentioned that former ad hoc art committee had spent some funds inside. Well, part of that was the rigging for two-dimensional art, as well as the TV that's used for media and other announcements that is also on the first floor. We also have a display case for our three-dimensional art, and we received over 800 proposals for the artwork, and the commission juried the pieces themselves and have selected the pieces that they would like, or the artists that they'd like to invite for the 2018 year. The artwork, the two-dimensional, three-dimensional, and media art will be on display on the main floor here at Bothell City Hall. So the first exhibit is set to be installed in February of 2018, and each installation will be up for 3 months, and that's of the two-dimensional artwork specifically. And we're looking at about 4 artists that we will be featuring for 2018.
Thanks for joining us on the Bothell Buzz. See you next time.